Hello and welcome to this live series, this live masterclass, which is all about how to feel beautiful, bold, and sexy just as you are without having to change anything at all. I'm really excited. I was just looking through my notes before this, and I have to say, you are going to get a lot out of this. This is really deep. This covers so many modalities in such a clear and holistic way that this little series, this big series done in a efficient, cohesive way has so much value. So please make sure that you are sitting and you are comfortable and you are ready because golly gosh, it's really, really good. Whew. Okay, let's settle. Today, I'm going to be taking you through my unique 3-step framework to overcoming stereotypes, to embracing what you look like and loving it, even through either physical change or mental health challenges, and even disease. So a lot of what I'm sharing with you has originally come from my own personal studies, which then became professional studies as I started working with more women who identified with my story. And you may know a little bit about my story in that you can definitely tell that I don't have any hair, and I did not shave my head for enlightenment, like somebody said on Instagram the other day, but I actually started losing my hair when I was 7 years old. So I have alopecia universalis, which means I have no body hair at all, except for maybe like a couple of eyelashes, which I'm very proud of. So a lot of this work comes from my own experience being a woman with no hair in a world where it is taught that femininity is very much attached to how you look. And most of the time we are sold an image where femininity has beautiful hair, long hair, thick hair, curly hair. And also from my personal background, growing up in a Catholic community with a lot of kind of shame around sexuality or women who are empowered or using their sexuality in an empowered way. And also my studies in positive psychology and yogic philosophy and tantra. So we're going to be applying them in a lot of different ways here. We're going to be working with the subconscious. We're going to be working with our body image. We're going to be working with the feminine. I'm really excited, and we're going to get straight into it. Now, I'm recording this for people later, and I have some people here live. So before we do this, I just want to do a little caveat. At the end of this masterclass, I am going to be sharing a little bit about the upcoming workshop that I have and the upcoming ways to work with me. So if we get to that point and you feel like you've gotten everything you want out of this experience, go ahead and log off, no hard feelings. If you would like to learn more about how to apply and get support and work through the nooks and crannies that this work sometimes presents, then definitely stick around so that I can tell you all about that. Deep breath. I just feel like I'm hosting a party and there's just lots of stuff. Okay. So this experience, so the way that this kind of was born was that I was preparing for this workshop, which is called Sexy, Feminine, and Unstoppable. And I've been doing this work personally around the feminine and embodiment and all of these things with clients, like as a fun thing. Like we would be, because I've been studying it, and I would say to my client, oh, I was doing this thing. Like, do you want to do this in our next session? Do you want to address this in our next session? We can address it with this modality. And they keep saying, yes, like, I love this. This is so fun. This is so exciting. And it was a personal practice for a very long time, a personal practice of mine. And what's interesting is that I also have been doing my own healing, and I kept getting this little nudge from the universe, like I kept feeling like this little voice, like, which is very much the feminine, this intuition that this is where my work needed to go for this time being. And I kept kind of self-sabotaging myself, saying, I'll wait, I'll do this, I'm not XYZ. And it's actually through embracing my feminine power, using these tools again. So I went back and I used these tools and I applied them to this scenario. And I got the confidence to offer it. And I'm very happy that I did. So it's a full circle experience. what we're going to do is we're going to work through my 3-step framework, which is loving your body, subconscious healing, and the gateway to feminine power. Do you see? And we're going to begin with loving your body. So part 1, step 1, and we cannot miss this. This is basic. This is the foundation for the work that we do, which is loving your body. Now, you've probably heard this before. We've heard about body love, but I want to switch the way that we're looking at it. You have a relationship with your physical body. For a moment here, let's recognize that the physical body that you touch, right? My hands, my breasts, everything that I touch is not who I am. I am the consciousness that lays inside of me. I am the one that observes all of this. So the physical body that you touch is actually the vessel with which your consciousness can move through this 3D material on earth experience. Without a body, our soul or our consciousness, whatever word you want to use for that, Atman, if you're a yogic like me, would not be able to move through. I wouldn't be able to grab this cup of coffee. I wouldn't be able to set up this. I wouldn't be able to speak to you without my body. I wouldn't have vocal cords. So the body is the vessel with which our consciousness can move through and experience life. It's our human form. I used to say, like, oh, when I die, don't worry about what happens to my body. Oh, who cares? Like, it's just my body. It's just my body. And my partner actually said to me, I care what happens. Like, I care what happens with my body. If my body, with this like agglomeration of cells and tissues and systems, carried me through an entire life, I want to treat it well. After I die, I want to thank it for that service. And that changed things for me. I was like, wow, yeah, he has a point. He has a point. So we can have respect for our body. And this is really a moment to kind of consider, how much respect do you have for your body? Do you treat it with respect? Do you treat it with love? This is what I'm trying to get to. This is the point of this point, is that to love your body is not to look at it and be like, oh my God, I love it so much. It's just like the flower. Like when I look at a flower, I say, oh, I just love those flowers. Look at them. They're so beautiful. I love flowers. It is to love it, to respect it, to devote energy, time, care to it, to care for it. I have 2 cats and I look at them and I say, oh, I just love them so much. Because I love them, I wake up and I give them their food and I clean their disgusting litter. And I make sure they are cared for. I identify their needs and I care for them. That is my act of love. Love is a doing word. Think of love right now as a verb. And sometimes the first thing we need to do is switch out something in your diet. Maybe there's something that you are consuming that's not supportive to your body. Maybe it's too much sugar, too much alcohol. Maybe you're not consuming enough. Maybe you need to eat more. That's definitely been the case for me. Getting comfortable with eating more. And this doesn't need to be a overnight thing. Think very small. Sometimes this is going to be prioritizing feeling comfortable in your body. So this might mean buying some new clothes that are the right size, treating it with divinity. So if your physical body needs physical movement, that is how we stay flexible and strong. The physical body was made to move. It needs that. So that's saying, okay, I see that you have a need for movement and I'm going to do what I can to facilitate movement for you. I see that you have a need for rest. I'm going to do what I can. I see that you have a need for vitamins and minerals. I'm going to do what I can to facilitate you receiving those things. So it is treating your body with love and respect. This is how we create a healthy body image. When we start seeing it as this vessel, as this tool, then everything else, like how flat is your stomach, begins to fall aside. It begins to not matter so much. And when we start moving into step 2 and step 3, how flat is your stomach isn't triggering, isn't even, it might be a thought, but it's not, it doesn't have that power. So before we move into part 2, I'm going to suggest that you work through some journal prompts, and I'm going to put them up on the screen and I'm going to give us some time. And I recommend that if you're watching the replay, just give us a pause, fill in these journal prompts. Do it right now. Don't set it off till later. Don't set it off till later. This is an act of love. This is an act of love. Checking in with your body, checking in with your relationship. The same way that if you have like a partner, you might consciously make time to check in with how they're feeling about their relationship. If you're dating somebody, you might have like the conversation, like, how are you feeling about this? Are we going to be exclusive? What are we doing? If you're in a long-term relationship, you might be like, so like, are we doing marriage? Are we doing kids? You have these conversations. So this is a conversation that you are going to have right now with your body, and the journal prompts are coming.